Hello, my name is Oksana Shestakova. I am 41 years old. I am 5'3". I currently reside in New York. I moved here from Nantucket Island. I promise you, was a conscious decision. This city has everything to offer: theaters, television, strong sense of community, amazing restaurants, beautiful culture, and it keeps me curious. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me entertained. Perfect relationship. I live with my partner and my cat that I adopted a few years ago from a friend who had asthma, and she was gonna give him up to some shelter, and I said, listen, why don't I just take him and we'll see if we get along. And we never parted since then. I speak both languages, Russian and English. I know a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of French. Not good enough to communicate fully and fluently, but good enough to get around. Love traveling, absolutely love traveling. I've done almost every state in the United States, which is, I recommend for everyone. I also love reading, love music. I was born in Siberia, and at some point when I was 11 years old in 1992, my father came and said, listen, if you finish school this year with straight A's, you have an opportunity to go to the United States. I was like, wow, United States. That was crazy back then because the Soviet Union just collapsed. The Iron Curtain was lifted. Nobody was traveling abroad, and the US was unknown land. And I didn't speak a word of English. But somehow my father had a lot of friends, and one of his friends ran this school that did NASA exchange program with its students. And so I ended up being a part of this exchange. It was just 3 of us, and I was 11. Can you imagine? We flew into San Francisco, stayed in 2 beautiful families that took care of us. They showed us everything. I wish I spoke English at the time, but I didn't, so I just remember everything visually. And I just remember how they took us to NASA headquarters, to the place where they built the shuttles, Disneyland. It was whole 9 yards. And you know, Russians are superstitious. So every time the star would fall, I would make a wish that I want to live here, I want to live here. And and or like if you forget a thing in the place, that means you're gonna go back there again. So I made sure I left a bunch of stuff. So when the time came and the universe and stars aligned together, I moved here, and I'm absolutely grateful. I learned how to wakeboard this summer, which is amazing. And you know what I've learned is when you actually on the board in the water, you have to trust the boat, not to resist this. And a lot of guys, very sporty big men, they were with us, they couldn't get up. They were fighting with the boat. And all the girls, well, almost with the exception of one, me included, they just boop, stood and just flew with the wind. It was phenomenal. The most free I ever felt in my life. I recommend everybody to learn a new thing when you can. No pressure. I love acting, but you already know that. I would love to be a part of your show, and I'm honored to audition for the part of